The end of play today. Castleford 18, Wakefield Trinity Wildcats 10 at half-time here. In the penultimate match, Saints Wigan to come, a repeat of the grand final, but 40 minutes between that and us. It's Castleford against Wakefield. Back to the boys and Bill.
Castleford Tigers then ready to get the second half underway. Let's hope there's less whistle in terms of penalties and more action from these two sides. When the action's been flowing, it's been good, and the rivalry has been intense for the first game of the season. It's been pretty strong stuff, but then you'd expect that from these two sides, especially with Wakefield in a mood to prove that they're not going to be pushovers this season. Spirit of 1873 group has taken over the club, and they intend to show plenty of spirit with this performance today.
And I'm sure John Kay will be very happy with the way that they performed in the opening 40 minutes. I do think they would have said you've got to make sure that you have a watch of Rangi Chase. Even when he takes the ball to the line, he put 3 attacking kicks and he managed to get 4 offloads away, and he is the danger man for Castleford.
Oh, great interception. Rangi Chase has snapped it off. He'll go all the way, finish off under the posts, and a disastrous start to the second half for the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats. And Rangi Chase, who was alert and alive in the first 40 minutes, absolutely on the ball there. And no wonder other clubs were looking at this player and fancying him in their side. And what a prize asset he is. The New Zealand Maori international against England during the autumn in that 18-all draw in New Zealand. And on the mark, alert, right at the start of this second half.
Right on cue, just as they called him the danger man. He comes out of the line for Castleford. They look for the big play, the big shift play. He tried to get it to the edge to Aaron Murphy. Rangi Chase in the middle of the pitch. That is just good vision from the outside back. You can see there, he just prompted it from the sky. He pins his ears back, he scores the try under the sticks, and that is a perfect start for Terry Matheson and Castleford.
Wakefield still with Sam Obst in the sin bin after being sent there at the end of the first half, paying the price. And Dixon bang in front of the post just to rub salt in the wound. And 18-10, we started off a few moments ago. It's already 24 points to 10 to the Castleford Tigers.
Well, if John Keir likes it first of the years, you'll have us believe he'll be doing cartwheels right now. A bit of a lazy pass, I think, from Tommy Lee. He had his time again. He probably would have looked up and assessed the situation, what was in front of him. It was a very, very risky pass, to say the least.
Just that understanding now, isn't it, really, of game time and game sense from Tommy Lee. What are you going to get out of that wild pass in that situation? The call must be, let's play this tight, let's complete some sets, good kick, get down there and build a little bit of pressure. You take a chance and invariably you're going to get burned.
Well, tries either side of half-time for the Castleford Tigers have really put them in control of this game. You had Widders just before the break, and then Rangi Chase immediately after it. Both converted by Kirk Dixon, and it's a different complexion on this game now. Wakefield really, as Brian was saying, really are up against it and have got to show strength of character now. Not that they didn't early on. Or hoists that kick. Blaymeyer in position to claim it, but finds there's a wall of Tigers roaring down on him to meet him.
Let's see what they can do now in this set of 6, Wakefield. They've got to get back to what got them into the lead in the first half. They bunched around the ball. They've got to make sure that they do try to promote the ball. Every time they get the ball, the run is to bust.
Worrying thing as well, Tez, they're without their organiser. He's off the field in the sin bin, and Sam Hobbs, so somebody's got to step up and take that role until Sam gets back on the field.
Paul Johnson plays that ball. It's Christine, I beg your pardon, who played that ball. It's Tommy Lee now looking to atone for that wild pass that set up Rangi Chase. Here is Nick Youngquest now. In fact, he and Tommy Lee are housemates still from their Crusaders days. I wonder what the chat was like going into this game between the two rival players now. Kirk Dixon.
This is where Wakefield need to defend strongly. Not invite Castleford up the other end of the park.
From a coaching perspective as well now, it's how much work as the coaches have been able to do at half-time to correct the issues that were affecting the referee. If you lose the collision, get out the way and just try and defend on the back of a quick play the ball.
Ferris still trying to offload that ball. Move! Like a basketball player. Mathers, one-handed pickup. Here is Widders again, and Widders is motoring. Lovely ball back in field.
Hand over.
And that'll be the turnover on the last adventurous play. But Stuart Jones just stopped in his tracks.
Surrender!
Now this is going to be tough for Wakefield. See how many players actually put the hand up.
Sort of great example, didn't we? Game one, Warrington, all going wrong. Players going off the field, all sorts of broken bones and people limping off the field, and had a real dig, stuck at it. I'm sure Wakefield can come up with something very, very similar.
Morrison plays the ball. Here's Kevin Henderson, second Henderson in action out there today. Brother Ian for the Catalan Dragons. Not such a happy afternoon for him, and it's not a happy afternoon so far for Kevin. As Tommy Lee puts the kick in, was inside his 40 but hasn't got the legs on it. And Mathers fields the ball, one-handed carry from him.
No, but it's still not a bad kick. It's right into the corner. They can get the defence very tight here as Youngquest brings it back for Castleford.
Ferris finds Rangi Chase, and his Castleford really are turning the screw now.
You could see that coming, Bill. There was no marker square in most of that set. Castleford smart enough, Rangi Chase, to involve him.
It's a poor penalty to give away from Russ Spears.
You've got to be really brave now, haven't you? If you lose the collision, the temptation, then he had a choice 50-50. Do I put my arm in and get in the way and take a chance and thus concede the penalty, concede field position, put my team in difficulties, or do I just let the play the ball go quick and hopefully someone's going to rescue me? That's the brave call these days.
Here is all. Walker on the 20-metre line wrestles his way free and plays the ball. Rangi Chase again, and Chase showing it, teasing the opposition players. You really don't know what to expect, and then another penalty, and the referee has called out a Wakefield player called Kidas for what? Says the big prop.
Right round the net, it's a grapple tackle, you're right on your own line. Adam, just wait, I'm going to give the signal and we'll go to the 10. Okay?
He can consider himself lucky there. I think there's a little head slam in the end there.
But again, another silly penalty.
Held! Release!
With Ryan Hudson still off the field, Milner very much involved now. Or across the face, that's good defence from Wakefield. Because Joe Arundel was threatening there. Chase quickly on the scene to take that pass, just dumps it into the hands of Orr. Orr stabs the kick in. What a lovely kick it was. And Kirk Dixon claims the try, one-handed. He says yes. But does video ref Steve Ganson? That's what James Child wants to know. What great quick thinking that was. And what dexterity from Kirk Dixon if he has got a hand down on that ball.
But what about the experienced Danny Orr? He just pulls the ball back in. Rangi Chase takes his line, gets another offload. He's having a field day in that department. He just slows the tempo up, Danny Orr. He pulls everybody up. Is he in front there when Danny Orr kicks that ball?
I'm going to call him offside here.
From this angle here, you'd say he was offside.
Wonderful bit of play. I think it might be chalked off.
I just think his right foot is his right foot in front of Danny Orr when he kicks this ball, or are they online?
His front foot needs to be behind Danny Orr, and for mine, it's not.
But this is clever play by Danny Orr. He doesn't panic. He takes his time. He draws Luke George into him. Henderson as well is caught flat-footed. Christine tries to chase back.
Well, he's
gone to the grounding.
Well, I'm sorry. He's looking at the grounding here, so if he's deemed to have grounded this properly, I think we can assume a try will be given. Oh, no, he's knocked it on. No, he's knocked it on. For mine, there's two reasons to chalk off that try. I think he was offside and he obviously hasn't grounded the ball, so I think we'll say no try here. Tap 20 for Wakefield.
Cheers, Gans.
Video ref Steve Ganson has looked at that one. Kirk Dixon has as well. He reckoned he'd got that down, but no, he hasn't. 20-metre restart let off for the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats.
Well, he kidded all his teammates as well. Kirk Dixon, he come back and nodded at him. Yes, I scored the try.
Got a smart up Wakefield now, haven't they? This, with the amount of attacking, offensive talent that the Castleford Tigers has. Dean Widders, Richie Mathers plays a big part in that as well. You know, Rangi Chase and Danny Orr. You got 4 players there who are going to, it's guaranteed they're going to open you up if you keep giving the ball away, you keep conceding penalties, and you keep defending your try line.
Move! Hold!
Korkidas, former Castleford Tigers player, takes that ball up. Straight into the heart of the Tigers' defence.
Hold!
Here he is again.
Dive! Move! All the way!
Widders in with the tackle. Paul Jackson there as well. Jackson getting a late call into the starting lineup. The kick goes up. Dixon comes to claim it. The chase is a good one. Led by Kieran Hyde. Hyde, though, just a little bit too keen.
Well, again, the referee's called him. James Child called him and said, Kieran, you've got to get squirt. That's what the penalty's for.
Stay out of it. Stay out of it. Tighten up at A. Stay out of the play of the ball if you haven't got set. Stay out of the tackle.
You're right. Defend one marker. Just back out. Don't involve, and just trust your teammates to make the next tackle.
That's what great wingers do, don't they? They avoid the tackle.
What would I know about defending?
I'll actually back it up there, Brian.
I meant in an attacking way, actually. Avoid the tackle. Well, as you used to do so elegantly.
Well, there's another penalty that Wakefield have conceded.
Well, they're the tough ones, aren't they? They're, you know, he's made a decent attempt to get an upper body collision, a good shot on. Ball's come loose. Has Tommy Lee generally ripped it out, or has the guy just lost control?
Come on, Michael, quicker!
Here's Paul Jackson now, motoring strongly up the middle. Now they're about 8 metres away from this Wakefield try line again, and Wakefield, after probably an optimistic period of the game, they really would have felt confident when they were 10-4 up, but they are struggling now. Sam Obst is back on, but Obst can only look as Milner goes in and gets the try, or does he? Was there a double movement there from the young England Academy captain, 19 years of age now?
Double movement, Gans.
And another call for video ref Steve Ganson to see whether Milner has extended the Castleford Tigers' lead.
Well, he mightn't have much Super League experience, but if you offer him opportunities like this, player this man's talent will take it every day. Very, very poor goal line defence again.
Well, Sam Obst was at fault there. He got out, put a lot of pressure on the inside man in Blairmeyer. He opened the gap up for Milner. Milner goes through. Is this double movement?
Yeah, that's no try.
This is double movement, this. But again, a good reading attack from the youngster Adam Milner. Sam Obst needed to be better. See, he goes up, he puts a lot of pressure on Matt Blairmeyer on the inside. White line fever, just that second effort. You can see, is he held? Did people fall off him? Is anyone in control?
Well, was Milner clear to place that ball? Had Wakefield let go of the man? If so, then it could be a try for the Tigers. It is. And that's despite the protestations of Glenn Morrison, who is now going to get a talking to, I think. No, well, he's looking for a talking with James Child in back play as we see the incident again.
Because they thought that Blairmeyer was in control of the tackle. Didn't see it had rolled off his legs. But Sam Obst caused an awful lot of problems there. If he just would have kept his line, talked to Adam Blairmeyer inside, Matt Blairmeyer, sure he would have prevented that try.
I think frustration is building for the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats now, and there was frustration at that decision for sure. They thought It was a clear double movement from Milner, but they had let go of the man. If there'd been a hand on him, even a finger on him,
it would have been a penalty.
It would have been
given.
a penalty. But that sums up the way things are going for Wakefield at the moment. Dixon hasn't brought his kicking boots with him. 28-10 though, Castleford Tigers lead here.
Wakefield have got to show us something now, Bill. This game has gone for me, I'm going to call it now. This game has gone for them. They can still perform for these last 28 minutes, and that's going to be crucial. The first game of the season, you got to show your supporters, show the new owners of your club, show them what you're made of.
Yeah, those new owners are here today.
Not giving a penalty away on this set of 6 is the way to answer, the way to come back, and it's the way to show those kind of people that we really have got some serious intent. If you're conceding this, you're quite right. It's done, it's all over.
2, move! Hold the time!
Well, Terry Madison will be a much happier man with this second half display from his side, especially he cannot fault the display of Rangi Chase, but this looks good from the Tigers. Oh, a little ankle tap stops Brett Ferris, but he's able to get back to his feet again. Oh, look at this. This is classy Cass, as they used to call him. Still do call him when they're classy. Mathers gets the ball away. Ferris again. Plays the ball quickly. There's a scramble for it now. They all want to be in there. Milner's pass finds Orr. Orr indicates where he wants people to go. Holmes is tackled. That's the 5th. And Orr, lurking behind the rest of his attackers, chips the kick in. And it's a tap on the 20. It was well dealt with by Vivas.
Well, they blew that chance on the opportunity on the left-hand edge. Why the pass wasn't thrown to Dean Withers, I'm not sure. Brett Ferris took the tackle instead.
You're right, they couldn't control that. That was Castleford's error. What they did do well is not give away a penalty. Lost some collision, but got back on side, got square, got the hands out the way.
Surrender!
Johnson takes the ball into the tackle and is met by Jacob Emmett. Two former St Helens youngsters, Emmett and Johnson, now on opposing sides in West Yorkshire for these two West Yorkshire clubs. There's Johnson again. That's the 5th tackle. Obst hoists that kick back out of the sin bin. Obst, Mathers leaps to claim it. Obst on the follow-up.
Well, look at this for the break. Ferris, does he go outside? He didn't give it to Dean Withers. That could have been a try, that.
There was 2 there. I didn't see the second.
This has really hurt Wakefield in the second half. The penalties in and around the ruck area, the interference. Sam Obst and Aaron Murphy both at fault there. Only a small man, Rangi Chase, but very strong. Would not go down, kept pumping his feet, then he wanted to play the ball as quick as he could. 16 penalties Castleford have had now.
While he's pumping his feet, I think he's entitled to hold on to him. He's moving forward.
I think because the leg was lifted, the referee has shouted held. At that point, you've got to get out the way.
Sorry there, Paul. 5 penalties in the second half, all to Castleford Tigers. Wakefield very much on the back foot right since the start of the second half, when they threw that interception pass which Rangi Chase took full advantage of.
And when you haven't got an experienced side, it's very, very difficult to keep defending your line. You're looking for someone to come up with a magical play, and look at that Rangi Chase. He's the man who's commanding the ball all the time for Castleford.
Or Mathers chips the ball on. Arundel now, George shaping him, and Dixon is taken out of play. Good defence that time from Wakefield, and Dixon knew about that. Clattered over the sideline.
Good defence from Luke Joy. He does very well. He just holds off, pushes off, then puts Dixon into touch. Good effort from the wingman. You can see he doesn't commit to Joe Arundel. What he does, he commits to Kirk Dixon.
Pleasing to see 5 Wakefield players in shot as they bundle George into touch. There's great enthusiasm in defence.
Going to need a bit more than enthusiasm, though, to get them out of the hole they're in at the moment. 28-10. The Tigers leads, looking to avenge that hammering they underwent here in 2008. 54-16, a dark day that was. Scott Griggs getting a hat-trick, Danny Brough kicking 9 goals, and that was Wakefield's only success at a magic weekend, and doesn't look as though they're going to have a success here this evening in Cardiff.
Well, there's a penalty now. Jake Emmett tries to put a shot on it. Brett Ferris that comes in on Paul Johnson, gets him round the neck, takes him to ground.
Well,
Gives Wakefield a bit of some yards.
Yeah, 23 minutes left on the clock, Terry. Only 18 points behind. We have seen it before, haven't we? If Castleford fall into that kind of mode now where they start conceding penalties, it doesn't really take much to turn the tide.
It's going to be some tide. It's going to have to be 7 bore proportions, I think, if Wakefield are going to have to get back into this game. Morrison rides the challenge, keeps a hold of the ball as well. Doesn't like the challenge. It's Rangi Chase and in back play, Morrison and Chase still going at it. Meanwhile, Obst in possession, and Obst has lost the ball. Penalty for offside. Scrapping stuff as well at times.
There was all sorts going on behind the play then. Getting real tasty. You can just feel that this one is the derby kind of game.
Added to which there's you sense a feeling of injustice among the Wakefield camp. Rinaldi, try scorer already, serves that one up, and they are in. They are coming back, and it's Ferguson again for his 2nd try of the game, and Rinaldi bamboozling the Castleford Tigers defence once again.
Well, you've got to direct your troops, and Ronaldo's doing exactly that. Just Dale Ferguson again showing up near the line, cutting a good angle, and you're exactly the sort of run that he has to run to go over for the try. And now brings it back. There's only 2 scores. If you get this conversion, then you need 2 tries to get back into this game and draw level with Castleford.
Vivas with the goal-kicking duties. Of course, Kevin Penny, another of the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats' close season recruits, well, end of last season recruits, in fact, and Vivas has missed with that one. Penny not able to get into the side. Vivas getting the goal-kicking duties. John Keir with the scarf, so Roberto Mancini look of the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats coach there. He's a football coach.
Bless the her.
But watch Wakefield closely. Can they drag themselves back into this game? Only they can do it.
I'm looking for that signal, Brian, that the signal that they're going to come up with a play that isn't simply now on the back of a penalty from Castleford.
I want to see this charge.
They're the signs.
Let's see them charge.
28-14 the scoreline there as we come up to the hour mark here in the penultimate game of the day. Day 1 of Millennium Magic. Wigan against St Helens still to come, so still Wigan and Saints fans coming into the ground. Wakefield buoyed by that try, his 2nd of the game from Dale Ferguson. And here is Rinaldi, string puller in chief. Little hand in there from Kirk Dixon. Back to 6, says the referee. No, we'll come back for the knock-on because there's no advantage there for the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats.
I thought great signs then from Wakefield. They were dominating and dictating that play. Bit of good fortune, but I think you make your own. They got the touch on that far play, the ball knocked on, but they moved up the field and they moved with purpose.
They're creating a lot of chances themselves, I think, Wakefield. They're not just holding on to the ball, they're looking to play. And a lot of the players that they're coming off the back of, they're coming off the back of slow rucks. They lose the ball at the scrum.
That's crazy.
Not exactly against the head, that. It was just pinged out of the side, that. Wakefield's not in control at that scrum, and Danny Orr really alert there, got the loose ball.
Well, it's not just a restart. You've got to concentrate when you're in the scrum. You've got to put your feet in the right place and get the ball back. It's not a given that you're going to get that ball back. And Castleford just struck for that ball. It comes out the scrum, and Danny Orr pounces straight on it.
Not sure about that play, the ball from Craig Hubie. He was pointing towards Swansea when he played the ball. Here's Rangi Chase. Danny Orr now, Orr short pass.
Big read from Luke George, left wing, came in, off the ball. Think a body check.
Well, the touch should just come on.
Touch judge is on.
Is it Richie Mathers who was taken out in back play?
Off the ball. They might not have the ball at all.
Okay, Luke George. Okay.
Okay.
So referee, it's a busy time for James Child, and Luke George is summoned.
To tackle off the ball. Okay, thanks for going again, Troy.
Nothing too malicious there,
No,
surely.
there's the questions, Brian, that we ask of those wingers. You've got to read it. Do you stay out and slide, or do you come in and hit on suspicion? It's an idea. You wait for him to get the ball before you do it, but there we are. He made his mind up.
Line, hold.
So the penalty puts Wakefield on the back foot. They've had a good purple patch. They've got points on the board, but now they're in danger of conceding again because the Castleford Tigers have got them camped on their own try line. Rangy chase. Again, a short ball. Finds Steve Snitch. Snitch on report after an incident in the first half. Chase hounded by the Wakefield players, but gets away. Rinaldi not able to get to him. Holmes, he's tackled just short of the try line. Good work by Murphy. Little kick ahead, Milner. It was who put the kick in. The ball ricochets. They'll come back for the first knock on, and I think it was off Murphy.
Don't speak to me like that in that manner.
Pleads his innocence.
Just wait.
Now back chatting to the referee.
Glenn, come here.
Give the penalty away.
Show me the knock on.
This has been brewing for a while now.
Listen.
Captain and the referee banging heads. It's not working. There's only going to be one winner.
And I told you earlier on when I saw James Child refereeing Hull KR against Salford, Salford said a word too many and a man was sent off. So,
well, there you can see where Kieran Hyde, his left arm touches the ball, it goes forward.
Absolutely correct.
I think that's your question answered, Brian.
It is, certainly is. That's all I asked for.
So this is back-to-back set of 6 for the Tigers. Snitch.
Held! Release!
He's driven back.
And
they get another penalty.
You're not moving out.
No, that's
John
a crying shame,
looks
Bill.
to the skies.
It really is a crying shame because they'd worked out the play in defence. They just weren't disciplined enough to get off the tackle.
Move! Catch ball!
3 penalties in succession against this Wakefield side. Surely the Castleford Tigers can take advantage. Morrison, his frustration in that tackle.
That was good read by Morrison on the inside.
Really put the shoulder in on Jacob Emmett, and they've earned that. The ball is spilled, and they'll get the ball back with Wakefield.
You're right, Bill, that's fantastic play. Good defence, they're locking up on the inside. They're not letting any gaps come, they're working as a unit. You can see there's a lot of talk in this Wakefield side.
Hey, calm yourself down, all right?
You can see what Rangy Chase is doing as well. He's probing and probing with these short balls. Looking for the opportunity to then switch his play around and hit the man out the back.
Time's off.
I think what Rangy Chase is looking for, Brian, he's trying to entice one of the defenders to go for his dummy, to go for the dummy runner.
Oh, Luke George is away. George has got some pace. They won't catch him. They're harrowing back to try and close him down. But George is going to go all the way, and they are going to get another try. Has he run out of room? Now then, does the referee say he likes another look at that? No, he's happy. George just managed to get that ball down. But I thought for a moment he was just going to keep going to the bandstand. He just wanted to give his goal kicker, young Josh Beavers, a better chance of landing that one, but that was heart in the mouth time.
John Keir jumping up and down saying, put it down, put it down. But good play to say, nearly drops the ball, Luke George. But he's only got eyes for that try line. And again, Wakefield, when you think that they're dead and buried, skirts with the dead ball line. You think they're dead and buried, all of a sudden, they pulled something out of the bag and Luke George goes in for the try.
Well, I'm going to be left with an omelette on my face here if this continues.
And a tomato.
It's his first Super League game since June the 14th last year. Luke George. Beavers then has landed that one. 28 points to 20. The Tigers have got a fight on their hands here.
Well, Paul, who has got the nerve here?
Well, I was looking for the signal early on, we mentioned it. What can Wakefield do that isn't really a gift from the referee, a penalty that's gone in their favour? I thought their defence, apart from a little bit of indiscipline at the ruck, was absolutely superb. They're reading the Castleford plays, and they got reward from it. From the base of a scrum, beautiful play, and they are back in the game. There's hope for the season.
Kevin Penny just sitting on the shoulder of John Keir there. He'd been impressed by the pace Luke George showed in that situation.
Steve!
Kevin Penny unable to get in the side today for Wakefield. If you had Penny on one wing and Luke George on the other, you'd have a bit of pace. Penalty in favour of Wakefield.
Well, is it Craig Hooby again? Has a little swing out on Paul Johnson.
14 on the clock. 14 on the clock, 8 points behind. Very, very doable.
Well, Hubie's turn to look a bit mystified.
Do you know, I'm going to give this Paul Johnson a big rap. Look, and lining up to take this ball in again. He's going to play a couple of games for St Helens. So on his third game in Super League, he has shown up strong.
Rinaldi. Kevin Henderson, quick play of the ball from him. Rinaldi goes again. Practical look to Julian Rinaldi as he plays the ball. Hyde, here is Obbs now, ducking and weaving. And then Korkidas just bulldozing up the middle, and it's the Tigers on their own try line. But that's good work to close down Sam Obbs. Hubie was there. Rinaldi stabs the kick in. And across in the nick of time comes Joe Arundel. Just for a moment, it looked as though he might have left it too late, because Blaymire was hunting that.
Real smart, composed play from Wakefield. Good field position, repeat set, keep the pressure on.
That is a wonderful kick. A wonderful, wonderful kick. We don't often see, or sometimes, sorry, we see some plenty of good kicks in Super League. That was wonderfully judged, and as you say, the right kick at the right time.
Now it's going to be a test of the Castleford Tigers' defensive mettle here. And look at that from Hubie, standing up to meet the charge of Korkidas.
But what Wakefield need now, they need as many players in motion, supporting the ball carrier. An inside runner, an outside runner.
Terry Madison maybe a little bit anxious to see the way his side have allowed Wakefield to come back at them, and Morrison leading from the front for his side. Wrestling with the ball with Steve Snitch for that ball. Hyde chips a kick over the top. Dixon is under pressure. The ball is patted down, and it's dealt with well by the Castleford Tigers. Coolly handled there by Joe Arundel, who really has shown up well. He scored a try, and he was on hand there to help Kirk Dixon defuse that, and then Dixon does well to make good ground. That'll lift the Castleford Tigers' spirit. So will that penalty, and that the sight of another Wakefield player going to the sin bin.
Well, this is a brilliant run from Kirk Dixon. He beats a couple of men, goes straight away through them. Well, persistent defences. Is it Darryl Millard who's going to the sin bin for 10 minutes?
That was a ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous penalty. Field position, building pressure. You concede a break, but hey, your team are getting back. You're getting behind the player, getting behind the ball, and he's gone back on. He deserves to be off the field for it.
Well, what about the run from Dixon? That was absolutely fantastic. Relieving run.
Go.
And just as they get themselves back into the game, they lose a player to the sin bin. It's going to make it harder for them now.
Well, they don't make it easy for themselves, do they? But they've rattled Castleford. Castleford have blown some opportunities to score tries, and they almost got punished for it. They'll need to be a bit more clinical.
Third player in the sin bin in this game. Milner Obst already there. Now Millard.
Move. Hold. Go.
Arundel it was, I beg your pardon.
Go fast.
And this time it's a penalty against Castleford. It was a forward pass.
Forward pass?
I'm so used to seeing James Charles' arm go up in the air, I'm thinking it's got to be a penalty.
Well, they dodged the bullet, didn't they? They dodged the bullet with that one. Right decision. You know what? Sometimes you want to ask players like Paul Johnson, players like Glenn Morrison, what does it feel like when one of your three quarters puts his hand on a ball when you just carried it for so long and got field position?
Coming up to 10 minutes to go here. The ground probably at its fullest of the day, because you've got Wigan fans, Saints fans here in good numbers, and the Castle Wakefield supporters pretty quiet and anxious, I think, and some Warrington fans who are still here for some reason, but I think they've possibly had a refreshment break or two.
Interesting to see Sam Obbs leave the field. With 10 minutes to go, you would imagine he's a man who'd want to the field.
good shot from Rangi Chase.
Dave! Move, come on! Dave!
Here is Tommy Lee, little chip kick over the top from Tommy Lee. He's chasing it himself. Mathers is there to field the ball, and it's fielded by Tommy Lee as well.
Said earlier, they just need to try and generate a bit more speed in and around the ruck area. Maybe the outside backs need to do it. But call Paul Johnson, James Child. He said you're offside, and to be fair to James Child, he has had a good game today. He's been talking non-stop to both sets of players, and you can see that he was offside. Gives the penalty straight away, James Child.
Come on, come on.
If Paul Johnson's exhausted, he's got a right to be.
21-12, the penalty count.
Wait!
That's the latest penalty. Gives Castleford possession on the Wakefield 40-metre line.
Move!
Emmett it is who takes the tackle and then leaves the field, in actual fact. Jacob Emmett. I think young Russ Spears comes on in his place. Now then, here's Danny Orr. Orr, a little step, trying to get away from trouble. Rangi Chase now. Chase with a short ball. And Walker. Walker it is who plays the ball. Can the Tigers close this game out? Good kick ahead. And the ball was knocked on, says the referee, despite Stuart Jones claiming the try.
It was grounded by one of the Wakefield players. Is it Aaron Murphy? Good play, good desire, good commitment by the centre.
Great effort to put his body in between the attacker and the ball. A wonderful defensive effort.
Here's Kirk Dixon now. But this has been a pleasing second half for the Castleford Tigers. They've played some nice stuff. And Rangi Chase has been the star of the show. Here's Danny Orr. Orr, short ball for Hubie, who has run Rangi Chase very close with his efforts. Orr, again, looking for Jones. Jones is tackled just short of the try line. They are in again. And it's Paul Jackson, who was a late call up to this side, wasn't initially supposed to be playing, and Paul Jackson gets a very rare try. He was in for Nick Fozzard at the last minute on the bench, and that is a reward for one of the Super League's hard-working old stagers.
Let's give a pat on the back to Stuart Jones, the speed of which he played that ball. Paul King come out of position. He had his hips facing him. He was having a little look what Rangi Chase was doing, but Paul Jackson just going over for the try.
He averages a try a year, so he's really...
Well, he's on. Well, he's got a bit of the first game of the year. The pressure's off.
Delight for Paul Jackson, and that surely has settled it for the Castleford Tigers. And Dixon with this opportunity to improve his goal-kicking stats for this game. Almost in front of the posts. 9 on target, as the Tigers are now for opening day victory. 34 points to 20.
Well,
they lead.
Wakefield found themselves built at 6th and 7th after they were scattered a bit in defence. And a very smart play out of a dummy half. Just find the right man with the ball at the right time. Paul King sucked in. They haven't made good decisions in their try-line defence, and that'll be a concern, I would think, for John Keir. Something I've no doubt that he'll work them hard on.
As Joe Arundel plays the ball, and here is Hubie again. Milner, who's had a lot of game time with that injury to Ryan Hudson, and that's good news for the Castleford Tigers as well. He's shown up well as the young man.
Hold the 10. Wait. Go.
Danny Orr. Here's Walker.
Move. Go.
Blaymire fields that ball. And as well to get away from the first challenges, but Milner in with the tackle, and Milner has a hand in. The penalty is awarded.
That was a great kick, very, very poor chase.
Wakefield just asking the referee about the possibility of a sin bin.
On his foot.
Well, Matty Blaymire does a fantastic job to return that ball. Earns his side a penalty.
Move!
So Wakefield, who started the game in good hearts, especially after new buyers came in to take over the club, started the season in good heart, started this game in good heart as well, led at one stage by 10 points to 4, but it's been a struggle for them since. And Castleford Tigers have really got better as the game has gone on.
But John Kay will be very happy that his side have knocked through the towel in. A lot of young players, inexperienced, but he'll learn a lot from this game.
Milner out of action at the moment, and Murphy couldn't quite capitalise on that kick, but he's still on his feet, Aaron Murphy.
Well, there you go, Bill. That is a confident player.
Another player in the sin bin. Is there room? Well, I'm sure that James Child indicated 10 minutes.
Contact with the head, okay, penalty goes against you.
No, misread that one. Penalty nevertheless.
Oh, we'll go with this. One! Move! Wait!
What have they got? Can they finish with a try here, Wakefield?
Arundel, good defence from him. Lee across the face of the posts. The former Hull man. Tackled by Castleford try-scorer Paul Jackson. Now it's with young Ross Spears, another one of these young players who are really going to have a break this season because of the way things have changed round here at Wakefield. Little chip kick in. Surely they can deal with this. They can. Kirk Dixon is there. Another goal line dropout.
Well, finishing strong, Wakefield. The chance in their arm. People pushing up. They put pressure on Dixon. Comes in. He couldn't regain his feet to bring the ball back.
For a team doing it so tough on down a man as well, they're showing a lot of fighting spirit. This will give John Keir cause for optimism for this season. And certainly, I'm sure it's something he's already known. It's our first chance to see Wakefield.
Hubie gets good distance on that goal line dropout, and then what a cardinal sin that is. It was Vivas who received the ball and then handed over a forward pass to Paul King.
Well, this is like a tired effort, that. You can see that King's in front of him.
Coach killers. Goodness me.
Well, now from getting the ball back on halfway, they've now got to defend the set of 6.
You know, we're talking about some young players here as well. It's a tough stage to learn on. You're on television, you're playing against some seasoned professionals. Very, very tough stage, but they will be better for it as we see the Wigan players coming out onto the field, jogging around the warm-up. These will benefit these players. Players like Joss Vivers, players like Adam Milner, they'll benefit from games and days like this.
Meanwhile, play continues. 3 minutes to go, and the Wigan players, having appeared, are now disappearing back down the tunnel. So whether somebody has had a word with them.
Maybe were they testing the footwork, seeing what the pitch was like?
Just a little bit quick out of the blocks there. Now then, Mathers stepping in field and then just drives a little bit further forward.
Yeah, good read from the young winger. Came in, read the play, and then stays on.
It's too long.
Poor Josh Vivers, they can't even spell his name right on the back of his shirt. There's Paul Jackson.
Move, back up. Hold. Go.
Here's Hubie, great ball from Hubie, and Willis will get his second try. And Craig Hubie, who has really worked hard in all areas of the game for Castleford in this match, comes up with a telling pass there, and Dean Withers was on hand. And Castleford Tigers, stylish end to this game.
Well, Craig Hooby's been a menace in defence, but he just accelerates through the gap. He gets his right arm free, and Dean Withers knew exactly what was going to come off. He follows him because he knows that he can promote the ball, and that's all he needs to do. Just stick on the shoulder of Craig Hooby. He puts the ball inside. That's it. The game's gone now.
Difficult. Sorry to interrupt you, but he's been a handful today, Craig Hooby.
He's had a big game.
He's had a big game. Big man, big game in attack and in defence. Difficult to stop there. You know, you've got to hit him with a few players that close to your line, don't you, Cole? Stop that offload.
You've got to get bodies in front of him, and the key really for John Keir this week, I'm sure, and John will already have it, you've got to get into this situation now where there's some good structure in defence. You've got to get off, you can't keep your hands in.
Dixon bang in front of the posts. Successful kick from him, 40 points to 20. Well, I said earlier on that the Tigers were looking for revenge after being hammered here by Wakefield 54-16 in 2008. Not quite on the same scale, but it's pretty satisfactory for Castleford, this scoreline. There is Dean Withers, an interesting character. He's an Aboriginal ambassador over here while he's playing in the UK. Does a lot of work for the Aboriginal community. He scored 2 very classy tries in this game.
Well, what can Wakefield do now? 19 seconds left on the clock. Stick the ball as high in the air as they can. Challenge for it.
And penalty awarded. Clock counting down. Rinaldi puts it into touch. Last play of the game. Wakefield just going to go for a Hail Mary. Madison satisfied with his second half performance.
Challenge
the kick is hoisted. Kieran Hyde puts it up, and Castleford will take it into touch. And it's fittingly Ryan Chase who has the last, Rangy Chase, who has the last touch of the game. Big second half performance from him. Salutes the Castleford Tigers supporters, who salute their side, who have got better as this game has gone on. They trailed 10-4 early in the match after half an hour, but then they ran away with it. Certainly in the second half they ran away with it, and they finished up comfortable 40 points to 20 winners, did the Castleford Tigers.
Yes, that's the way it ended. A victory for the Castleford Tigers against a very young Wakefield Trinity.